Hey guys, welcome back to the Fatal Wrath channel. Yeah, in this video I'm kind of skipping my intros this time round because I'm doing a how-to video in OBS for a fellow friend of mine. Well, I don't really know him in person, but I know him on YouTube. And this is kind of a video to help him out, and it can also help anybody else out that's trying to do something like this. And I told him that I would make a video, and so this is kind of to help out him and anyone else that is struggling to do something like this, and I hope this is a good solution. What we're going to do in OBS is I'm going to show you how to make a list. If you are a Mario Maker 2 streamer and you stream viewer levels, and let's say everybody is throwing levels at you, uh, level ID after level ID after level ID. Maybe you got another screen up where you're making your own list in Notepad or something like that, and it's just not as handy. Everybody keeps asking, am I next? Am I next? Who is next? Who is next? And you have to go back to your list and say, this person is next, this person is next, this person is next. Well, what I'm going to show is how to make a list in OBS to show on the stream so that you can have the list right there and everyone knows who is next, and then you can easily adjust it by deleting the level ID that you just completed or adding another level ID after that. So I know this is going to be a pretty quiet video and a lot of me talking. It's probably going to be pretty boring, but this is a good how-to. And if you just take the time to listen, it's going to be pretty easy for you. So you have your OBS like this, and what you're going to go to first to get that list to show up is you're going to add a source. Now, your sources may actually be listed more down here in this area. I moved everything off to the side so that I could have a bigger screen for when I do my games or when I do anything on my desktop. So that's why it's all set up like this. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to open up a source here, and you're going to add the source on your plus sign right here in OBS. What you're going to want to go to is the text option. It's going to open up like this, and you're going to probably want to name it something small like list, or you could do viewer list. Since we have limited space, I'm just going to call it list. But this one I'm going to call list 2 because I already have one available that I'm going to show you. This is just a step-by-step on this one here. After you name it, you're going to hit OK, and this screen is going to pop up. Here, you're going to have your text, and you get to select the style font that you want and the size. You're going to go under Select Font. There's going to be this 256 that it might default to. That is huge. You don't need that. but you're probably going to need something pretty sizable. I probably would go with a 48, and you'll click OK, and then you'll start typing this in here, your levels. And if you see over here in this section, it starts to show. And you could put the person's name next to it. There you have your level ID. There you have the person's name. Or if they use a special name on YouTube, there you go. If they don't want to use their real name, put that. So it'll show up something like that, and you'll continue to put in your list. You can enter, put in more, and continue your list like that. After that, you'll hit OK, and then it's just simply moving that around. I'm actually going to hit cancel on this. And then whenever you want to take it out, you can easily just right click and hit remove. And it'll take it off of there. So just take a look at my list over here. I made like example IDs and I put the name right next to it. And as you can see, you can just kind of click on that and just kind of move it around. You want it in this corner, you want it in this corner, whatever corner you want, wherever you want, smack dab in the middle. Although that might block your game. And it just goes in a certain section. And then as you can see, your viewers are watching. Stan pops up. When am I next? When am I next? Stan, you're next, right there. Take a look. John pops up. When am I next? John, you're gonna go after Stan. Look at the list there. Right there. Cat says, am I third? Cat, you're right there. Dan says, when am I next? Dan, you're after everybody. And then let's say you get done with Stan's and you want to change that. You'll have to go under here and properties. Your viewers won't see this screen here. They'll just see what's displayed on OBS. So then you can go under here, back out Stan. They'll see Stan's deal backed out. And let's see. There we go. Like that. You get another ID. Put it underneath Dan. And it's Mike. Okay, now we got Stan's level done. Now we have John next, Cat, Dan, Mike, and you can just put that in there as you get it. Pause your game, whatever, while you do that. Maybe have the game just sit there and say, hold on, let me add this in. And the list is right there. If it takes time, you might have to tell people to hang on a little bit. It might take you a little bit more time. Maybe since it might slow your stream down a little bit, you might want to consider if your usual time is streaming for 3 hours, maybe consider stream for 3.5 hours. If your time is, I gotta just do 3 hours, I can't do any more than that, then you might have to tell people I can't get to your level, but tune in next time on a Saturday or the following Tuesday if you only stream once a week. And get to their level then. I mean, you can only do so much as a streamer, really. Um, I'll just show you what it can look like here. Let's say you don't really want it to run into your game. You can move your game capture around a little bit. And now this is what they'll see. They'll see the game kind of over here in the corner rather than covering the whole entire screen because you went to your game capture and you move that with these little squares here. See how the arrow's kind of lining up where you can move it. I got it right where I wanted to get it, so I'm not really going to move it, but you can just move it that way. It's pretty simple. Um, if you want your video, if you like to be seen in your stream, I don't always like to be seen, but some people they like to show themselves. So like, okay, here's your video. Put yourself down here in the corner. All right, that's all that you get to see of me this time. Sorry. But as you can see, it's like out of the way. You could put a fun little image over here to kind of take away the black screen of death. I guess I could show myself one more time. See how all that kind of looks there. Looks real neat. And it kind of just gives them something to look at there. And that's all that they'll see. They ain't going to see all these little blue squares. I'm just moving this around a lot. But you got the little fun image there. You got your list here that you can make. And it'll just, as you get more and more and more, it's a nice little list that can just expand on the side here and not get so much in the way of your game. That way people can still see the full setting of the game. Or if you want to take your game and go ahead and drag it out and cover that, I mean, you can. There, it's probably selected on something else. You can, it's just that's going to kind of be what it looks like and kind of get in the way of everything. So I would, move it over there a little bit out of the way. So that it won't be in the way so much. And then you can have your list over here. So that's how you would put text into your OBS and you can make yourself a list. So again, it's under here, source, text, and then you can start putting in a text for a list. This is just how I do it. There's probably other ways that it can be done, probably something more fancy, but that's how I do it. If you want to put in an image back here like this, you know, there's a happy little image of Bulbasaur. Um, you would go to your source and you would click on image right here. There's an image option. And then it would bring up the same pop up here where you browse, you look for your image. There's your image. You hit OK. It starts to show up and you can move it all around. So that's kind of how I got this other background here of space, whatever it looks like, uh, to kind of jazz it up a little bit and take away the black space, black screen of death, whatever you want to call it, and just kind of put an image in there. But I noticed while I was trying to put this how-to together that the text wasn't really working on the image side, and I think I was directing him to use that image option, and it didn't work. So I actually had that wrong. I actually had that wrong. It's not source and image. It's source and this text option. Then you can put in your uh, level IDs along with the viewer's name, and they can see that right there, and you can move it around on your OBS system there and just try to find a good spot for it. I think there might be an option to add a background in there that could help it out. Background color. Let's try that. No? Okay. Well, you might have to play around with this a little bit, but there should be a way to kind of add a background color there to where you can put that the the level IDs in there and it doesn't interfere with the game too much to where it's like transparent. As you can see here, it's kind of transparent, could easily get in the way of a lot of things. But you might just have to play around with it a little bit to where you could probably get it to be the background color rather than a transparency. And then it could probably just be in a corner of your game section. And then you wouldn't have to worry about it getting in the way of the game like this and obstructing everybody's view. And then they could still see your game clearly, all the while having your ID right over here and who's up next. So that's basically the idea of how to do that. Play around with it. It should be fun. It should allow you to put a little list in there. Um, if you know how to get a background color in there so it's not so transparent, that might actually help the situation so that you can keep your game a full screen rather than putting it in a corner like this and making it look busy. Um, but this would be an option if you kind of wanted to have a list off to one side and your view of the game not obstructed so the viewers can easily watch your game and they can see who all is next and it's right in there and it's a lot clearer and it answers everybody's question. Am I next? Am I next? Yes, you're next. Here you are. Calm down, John. And then, like I showed you before, you could put your little video of yourself right here if you like to show yourself on camera. Uh, your happy little face. And that could still not obstruct the view. Although most of the time, if you put yourself on top of a part of your game, nobody really seems to mind that it's right there for everyone to see. So you probably don't have to worry about obstructing view when it comes to that. And I've seen some streamers do that, and it doesn't really bother anything. Nobody really seems to complain. So, but anyway, that would be a good way to work with this, play around, see how good it does what it needs to do, and play around with it a little bit. There's your list, there's your game, Your video will be down here. Nice little background image to cover up the black screen. And I think it would look a lot better. Otherwise, get a background on this, and then you can bring your game all the way over here. Put that down in another corner where it doesn't really obstruct view of the game. And that'd probably work out a lot better for you. Anyways, that's how to do that. I'm not going to take up your time much more. I think I explained it long enough. Probably too long, honestly. But that's how I would put the text in there, and that's basically how to do that in OBS. And like I said, maybe my best recommendation is get a background color on here so that you can make your game capture a full-on screen. Otherwise, you're probably going to have to do like what this does and have it off in a corner and then have your list off to the side. Whatever best way works for you, try it out, see how your viewers feel, get your feedback, and just go from there. Good luck streaming Mario Maker 2 with the viewer levels. Hopefully making a list makes your life a lot easier. Thank you for tuning in to the Fatal Wrath channel. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, stay alert, and check out all of my great gaming content on my channel. I've covered so many games. Check them all out. Have fun. We'll see you in the next video. We'll see if we need to do another how-to. Otherwise, next video, hopefully a fun game. See you then. Take it easy.